Tonight we embark on a journey into the depths of Thanksgiving, a holiday so seemingly innocent, yet harboring secrets more sinister than a turkey's dark, basting underbelly. Picture this: a fog-shrouded Plymouth Rock, where the pilgrims, sporting fashionably uncomfortable buckled shoes, descend upon the land like a plague of avant-garde locust. Oh, the Mayflower, that wretched vessel of despair, rocking on the turbulent seas like a possessed cradle, each creak of its timbers whispering unspeakable secrets to the ocean's depths. As our pilgrims staggered onto the rocky shores, they weren't merely seeking freedom from religious persecution. No, they were on a quest for something far more insidious. A recipe, a concoction, a cursed culinary creation to bind them together in a pact of caloric camaraderie. Enter the Native Americans, unsuspecting co-conspirators, with their knowledge of maize, squash, and beans, ingredients of doom. The pilgrims extended a bony hand of friendship, concealing a poison more potent than hemlock in their bountiful baskets. And thus, the first Thanksgiving was born, a feast of deception and discord. The pilgrims and Native Americans, locked in a culinary waltz of ruin, danced around the dinner table, blissfully unaware of the malevolent morsels that awaited them. Now, let's talk turkey. The iconic centerpiece of Thanksgiving dinner, a sacrificial fowl that willingly gives up its life to become the main course on this twisted tableau of gluttony. But what if I told you that turkeys are not as innocent as they appear? That beneath those feathers lies a dark secret, a sinister plot, hatched in the shadowy recesses of the poultry underworld. Turkeys, my friends, are the true puppet masters of Thanksgiving. They saunter through the farmyards with a sinister strut, gobbling amongst themselves. Each gobble is a coded message, an ancient communication that echoes through the avian abyss. They are the architects of our Thanksgiving nightmares, orchestrating a feast that transcends the boundaries of taste and decency. As we sit around our tables carving into the succulent bird, little do we know that we are but pawns in the grand poultry conspiracy. The turkeys, having infiltrated our homes, disguised as plump, innocent fowls, watch with beady eyes as we devour their brethren. In the darkness of the night, they convene in secret turkey tribunals, plotting our downfall with a demonic blend of clucks and gobbles. But let us not forget the side dishes, the mashed potatoes, silently mashing the hopes and dreams of the unsuspecting victims, the cranberry sauce, a blood-red elixir that stains the fabric of reality itself, and the stuffing, a macabre mixture of breadcrumbs and existential dread, stuffed into the carcass of tradition. As we feast, the ghost of Thanksgiving past materialize, haunting us with the specter of overindulgence. They whisper tales of lost waistlines and forgotten New Year's resolutions, their ethereal voices echoing through the halls of our digestive system. And what of Black Friday, the unholy aftermath of our Thanksgiving transgressions? The masses, fueled by pumpkin pie-induced mania, trample over each other in a consumerist frenzy. The turkey, having fulfilled its sacrificial duty, watches from the beyond, its ghostly feathers rustling in the cold November wind. Now, as the gravy boat sails into the murky waters of our collective subconscious, let us delve into the harrowing depths of family dynamics during the Thanksgiving feast. Picture the dining table, a battleground strewn with cranberry-stained napkins and the remnants of pumpkin pie casualties. Here, amidst the clinking of silverware and the ominous hum of the refrigerator, familial tensions bubble to the surface like a gravy simmering on a stovetop. As the tryptophan haze settles, so too does the veneer of familial harmony. The once amiable gatherings morphs into a spectacle of discord, a twisted performance art piece where thespian relatives don masks of civility, all the while wielding verbal daggers with the finesse of a sous chef chopping onions. And then it begins. The argument. A cacophony of opinions clashing like a symphony of deranged cutlery. Uncle Bob, his face redder than a cranberry bog at sunset, passionately argues that Millard Fillmore was, without a doubt, the tallest president in U.S. history. His evidence? A dubious anecdote about Fillmore's alleged habit of using giraffes as personal bodyguards. Aunt Mildred, never one to back down from historical debate, vehemently disagrees, insisting that Abraham Lincoln, with his stovepipe hat and towering frame, holds the coveted title of the loftiest commander-in-chief. The tension at the table thickens like gravy left out overnight, and the mashed potatoes bear witness to this heated dispute, their lumps quivering with trepidation. Meanwhile, Cousin Simon, a self-proclaimed expert in alternative history, proposes a wild theory involving a secret society of stretchable presidents who could alter their heights at will. He passionately defends his thesis, citing pitiful and phony sources as irrefutable evidence. The crescendo of voices rises, and the cranberry sauce trembles on its plate, caught in the crossfire of the tallest president debacle. The air is thick with the scent of mashed potato rebellion, and the turkey, once a symbol of unity, now sits as a stoic spectator to the familial fracas. Amidst the chaos, Grandma Ethel, who has been quietly observing from her throne at the head of the table, decides to settle the dispute with an air of finality that sends shivers down this collective spine. With a steely gaze, she declares,
"The tallest president was clearly James K. Polk. His height was an illusion created by a team of skilled illusionists hired by the secret government."
Silence descends on the table like a curtain falling after a tragic play. The combatants, their weapons of arguments sheathed, exchanged bewildered glances. The mashed potatoes, now forgotten casualties, slump into defeat. And so, as the echoes of presidential debates fade into the background, a wave of stress engulfs me like a cranberry tsunami. The discord at the Thanksgiving table reaches a fever pitch, and I find myself succumbing to the pressure, teetering on the precipice of consciousness. The last thing I hear is Grandma Ethel muttering something about the Von Arks before I slip into the abyss. Suddenly, I awaken in a surreal dreamscape, a realm where reality and imagination collide in this disorienting ballet. I find myself surrounded by diminutive creatures with pointy ears and mischievous grins. The Gunchies. These small elves, no taller than a toy soldier, welcome me into their enclave with open arms and a bizarre dance of joy. At first, the Gunchies seem harmless, frolicking in fields of candy corn and playing whimsical tunes on miniature banjos. Prime Gunchi Tarak, the elfin leader with a twinkle in his eye, assures me that in this enchanted realm, worries and arguments are left behind like the discarded turkey bones. As I wander through this fantastical landscape, the stress of the real world begins to dissipate. The Gunchies offer me elixirs made from dewdrops and laughter, and I find myself floating on a cloud of temporary bliss. But as the days unfold in this alternative reality, cracks begin to appear in the candy cane facade. Late one night, as the moon cast an eerie glow on the Gunchi Mountains, I overhear hushed whispers among the Gunchies. They speak of a ritual known as the stuffing. The dread in their voices sends shivers down my spine. Curiosity piqued, so I eavesdropped on a conversation between two Gunchies, their high-pitched voices weaving a sinister tapestry of intrigue.
"Did you hear about the new one? The human who came from the Thanksgiving world?"
"Yeah, I heard. Prime Gunchi Tarak is excited. Another vessel for the stuffing ritual."
The blood in my veins runs cold as I realize the true nature of this eldritch gathering. The Gunchies, it seems, are not the benevolent companions I once believed them to be. Determined to escape this twisted dreamscape, I confront Prime Gunchi Tarak, his eyes gleaming with an unsettling mix of mischief and malevolence. "Gunchi Prime," I ask him, "what is this stuffing ritual? What are you really doing to people?"
Ah, my dear guest, you are blissfully unaware. The stuffing is a necessity for our survival. We crawl inside the bodies of humans and guide them through the frenzied aisles of Black Friday. It's a symbiotic relationship, you see. We get to experience the thrill of consumerism, and they get the pleasure of mindless shopping.
As Tarak explains the twisted logic behind the stuffing, I feel the walls of disorder closing in on me. The once whimsical landscape becomes a labyrinth of nightmares, and the Gunchies, once charming companions, morph into puppet masters pulling the strings of a diabolical plot. Determined to escape this purgatory, I plot my departure, navigating through the treacherous candy corn forest and avoiding the hypnotic melodies of the banjo-playing Gunchies. With each step, the air becomes thicker with tension, and the once vibrant colors of this imaginary world blur into a disorienting swirl of nightmare and nostalgia. Suddenly, I feel a tiny hand on my shoulder, and before I can react, a swarm of Gunchies descend upon me. Their twinkling eyes gleam with a destructive light as they wrestle me to the ground. Prime Gunchi Tarak, now a foreboding figure against the eerie moonlight, approaches with a sinister grin.
Ah, the fleeting escape attempt of a wayward human.
I struggle against the relentless grip of the Gunchies, their laughter ringing in my ears like a macabre symphony. Tarak, with a flick of his tiny hand, signals for the others to bring me to the center of the village.
You were meant to be a vessel for the stuffing, a conduit for our transcendent experience. Embrace it, human, for you shall become a beacon of consumerist ecstasy.
As I'm held captive in the clearing, I witness the Gunchies preparing for the ritual. Tiny ceremonial knives glint in their hands, and an otherworldly chant fills the air. Tarak approaches, his eyes glinting with an unsettling gaze of anticipation. He brandishes a minuscule blade, and the Gunchies form a circle around me, their chanting reaching a fevered pitch. The stuffing is about to commence.
Fear not, human, for this is the path to enlightenment. You will become one of us, and together we shall navigate the labyrinth of consumerism.
As the first incision is made, a searing pain courses through my body. The Gunchies, their faces contorted with a grotesque blend of joy and determination, crawl into the cavity they've created. I feel them burrowing into my consciousness, their tiny hands reaching into the depths of my being. The sky spins, the banjos play a dissonant melody that reverberates through my tortured mind. The world around me blurs, and I glimpse the twisted reality of the Gunchies, a realm where holiday cheer is a facade, and the true spirit of Thanksgiving is sacrificed on the altar of consumerist mania. The haunting laughter of the Gunchies echoes in the depths of my mind, and as I succumb to the strange symbiosis of the stuffing, I wonder if I'll ever wake from this twisted dreamscape, or remain a vessel for their vicious whims. And then, as if jerked awake by an otherworldly force, I find myself jolting upright in my own bed. The Gunchi mountains, the Gunchi trees, the haunting chants of the Gunchies, all dissolve like mist in the morning light. I'm back in my room, the oppressive ambience of the ritual replaced by the soft glow of the alarm clock. The relief is palpable, but a lingering unease clings to my thoughts like cobwebs in the attic of my mind. Was it a dream? Or had I truly wandered into a bizarre dimension governed by pint-sized elves with a penchant for consumerist possession? The lines between reality and nightmare blur, and I'm left to grapple with the disconcerting aftermath of the stuffing. As I sit on the edge of my bed, the remnants of the dreamscape dissipate like morning fog. The echoes of Prime Gunchi Tarak's laughter linger, and I can't shake the feeling that, in some strange way, the nightmare was more than just a figment of my imagination. As I reflect on the surreal journey through the Gunchi Mountains and the twisted rituals of the Gunchies, I can't help but draw parallels to the holiday that led me down this rabbit hole. Thanksgiving. The seemingly innocent traditions, the familial discord, the pressure to conform to a festive facade, all echo the screams of my dreamt escapade. We carve the turkey of tradition with the same ritualistic precision as the Gunchies wielding their tiny knives. We engage in debates as absurd as the tallest president, arguing over matters that, in the grand tapestry of existence, are as inconsequential as a side dish of creamed corn. The family dynamics, the pressure to conform to a distorted sense of togetherness, are akin to the clutches of the Gunchi Mountains closing down on me. The stuffing, whether a surreal elven ritual or the inexorable pressure to indulge in Black Friday consumerism, reveals itself as a dark underbelly of the holiday, a descent into a nightmarish abyss of conformity. And so, as I navigate through the hazy aftermath of my dream, I arrive at a disquieting conclusion. Tradition is a nightmare we never wake up from. Whether it's the pressure to uphold the sanctity of a holiday or the surreal rituals of a false reality, the threads of tradition weave a tapestry of unease that clings to the fabric of our existence. As I prepare to face the real Thanksgiving, I can't help but wonder if the nightmare is waiting just beneath the surface, ready to whisk me away into another twisted dimension. The land of the Gunch may fade, the banshees may cease their haunting melody, but the echoes of the Gunchies' laughter linger, a reminder that tradition, like a relentless specter, haunts our every feast and festivity.